that leverages on digital technologies to enhance business productivity. And I'd like to run you through or walk you through one of our solutions, which is the Omnibus School Management System that we currently have on the screen. Omnibus School Management System is a management information system, an MIS, that helps in seamless running of the activities of schools, ranging from the academical activities to the payroll to the accounting functions to tracking students' attendance and performance to tracking of fees and payments and several other functions and activities that are carried out in the school. Before we go further, let me take you briefly, let me introduce to you what the portal looks like, the Omnibus School Management Portal. The Omnibus School Management Portal is divided into four. The first, which is the admin portal, the second is the staff portal, the third, which is the parents portal, and the students portal. We'll concentrate more on the admin portal today. Thank you. Kindly work with me. This is the login page for the admin portal, or this is the login page for the portal generally, where admins, students, teachers, and parents get to log in and perform all their activities, all their school-related activities. Now, to log into the portal, I'll fill in my username and password just like I have here, the password, then I'll select the user type. We are working with the admin account, so click on login. It takes about 3-4 seconds. And boom, we are in already. Now, this is the summary page. This is what you get once you log into the portal, the admin dashboard. The admin dashboard gives you the basic information about the school activities, it gives you the up-to-date figure on activities or functions or about the school. The first is the number of students in the school, the total number of students. If we have 1,000 students, it will reflect on the orange screen, the number of staff, the number of students who have paid their school fees, the attendance, the number of students that are present or absent in the school at a particular time, the messages, the payroll, transport, hostels, and books. The right-hand side of the page talks about the downloads. That's where we get the materials, the materials or guide on the usage of the portal. The admin manual, the students manual, the parents manual. The parent needs an hand in the usage of the portal. They can easily download the manual and use it to guide them through the portal. So they don't always have to seek the help of the admin of the school at all times. The next function is the school calendar. That's where we get to define the kind of terms that we have in the term, if it's the first term, the second term, the third term, or as the case may be, as other schools would have it. Manage academic session, we manage activities, we define activities like midterm, exam, continuous assessment test, and other activities, the positions and houses. We get all that on the school calendar section. The next is the staff section. That's where we define the kind of staff that we have in the school. The staff type, we manage the staff type. We have the teaching staff, the non-teaching staff, the counselor, and the contract staff. The teaching staff is where we register all teachers in the school. The non-teaching staff is where we take care of the records of the non-teaching or the non-teaching staffs like the drivers, the cleaners, and other administrative staffs within the school. The next is a class, subject, or skill. That's where we define the kind of subject, the type of subject we offer in the school, the likes of mathematics, English, physics, chemistry, biology, integrated science, and several other subjects as the case may be. We manage the subject group, we manage social skills, manage behavior, manage classes, and manage class level. The next is the timetable. That's where we define the kind of the timetable for the school, like the class timetable, the subjects that a particular class will have at a particular time on a particular day. We get to define all that. The admin takes care of the fixing of the timetable. And once that is done, it appears, it reflects automatically on the teachers portal and on the students portal. The next is the first assessment timetable and the second assessment timetable. Then the last is the exam timetable. All those will be defined by the admin, and once it's been defined by the admin, it automatically appears on the parents, the teachers, and the students portal. The next function is the hostel and transport, the hostel and transport module. The hostel module is where we define the number of hostels, the number of bed spaces that we have, the number of rooms, and every other information about an hostel, the number of blocks, rooms, and bed spaces that we have. If we have, let's take for instance a school that has an hostel facility, that has a boarding facility, you can easily keep track of the number of available bed spaces, the number of rooms that you have, and allocate at will once a student is admitted. Once we have a new student admitted into the school. The next is the transport, where we keep track of the number of buses against the drivers and the routes which they're applying. The next module is the parents module. The parents module and the students module are similar in the sense that the parents module is where we define the names and the details of the parents of students in the school. If a student is to be registered, we believe that the student is not cannot act as his or her own guardian. So a student needs someone to act as a guardian, and that person will be defined under the parent section. The next is the student module. Under the students module, we have the master list. The master list gives us a brief or a summary of all the students in the school per class with respect to class, or with or without respect to classes. It just gives us the number of the total list of students in the school from all the classes. The next is the admit student. That's where we get to admit new students into the school. Then the admit bulk students, who is used for admitting more than one student at a time to reduce the time at which you spend on admitting an individual student. The next is the temporary student. The temporary student is a special feature that we created into the school management system for schools that engage in entrance examinations before students are admitted into the school. When the student is about to be admitted into the school, the student is registered on a portal as a temporary student, and the student in turn gains access to the CBT system, where the student gets to write the exams. And if the student passes the exam or meets the requirement for admission into the school, the student is then converted into a full student. The next function is the daily attendance. That's when we keep track of attendance of students and staffs. The attendance of students are marked on a daily basis by the teachers, and the admin is only to keep track of teachers who have marked the attendance of their classes. The next is the staff attendance. That's where the admin gets to mark the teachers that are present or the staffs that are present. Both the teaching and the non-teaching staffs are reflected here. The admin gets to mark them present or absent at any given day or time. The next is the admin. Sorry. The next is the exam module. The exam module is where we define the assessment types. That if we're running a 60-40 assessment type, if we're running a 70-30 assessment type, if we're running a 20-20-40 or 20-20-60 or 10-10-10-70 assessment type, we get to define it under the types of assessment. Then the sub-assessment, the exam assessment list, the results, the report cards, the midterm report. The report card is where we generate report cards for individual students. Then the midterm report. The next module is the sheets, ratings, and comments. The sheet ratings and comments is where we define, okay, we have the score sheet, the moderation sheet, the termly broadsheet, the termly broadsheet 60, the termly broadsheet 100, and other academic results too are defined there. On to the next one is the transcript. The transcript is more like a breakdown of all the records of students in a particular class for all the subjects the students are offering. We get that on a spreadsheet, on a single spreadsheet for all the students. The next module is the library. The library talks about, okay, under the library we have some sub functions or sub features under the library, where we have the e-library. From the e-library on the portal, we get students gets to download electronic materials, electronic books that are useful to them, download and read online, or download and read on their iPads or systems or laptops or whatever the case may be. The next is a study material. The study materials are the recommended, the textbooks that has been allocated to particular class for a particular subject. Then the next is the books. The books generally we upload different, and we have a book section where we upload different diverse kinds of books, irrespective of the class, the subject, or your academic affiliation. You get different kinds of books in the library in the book section. Then the last is the recommended, where a particular teacher recommends a particular textbook for the subject that he or she is teaching. Maybe a particular teacher feels that a particular textbook would a particular textbook will help a lot. It will to help the students in understanding better, in having a better understanding of the subject that he or she teaches. The next function is the accounting section. I think I'll take the accounting section and the payroll section together. The accounting section is where we'll define and keep track of all our transactions in the school, all our financial transactions from petty cash to daily tradings, the income, the expenditures, and every other accounting functions are attract in the accounting module. The next is the income and fee category. We define the kind of income, the kind of expenses that we have, the likes of furniture expenses. We have the furniture expenses, the transportation, the telecoms, and several other expenses are defined in in this module. The expense category are also defined. The managed fee is where we define the type of fee that the students get to pay, the likes of the tuition fee, the ICT charges, the tuition fee, the ICT charges, the PTA levies if it's applicable, the sport fee, and several other fees as applicable to the school. The next on the list is the income slash expenses. That's where you get a brief overview of the figure that we have currently in the income category and expense category. The next on the list is the payroll. The payroll talks about the staff and the staff welfare generally. Their staff, that's where we define, we'll create a new staff, we'll keep track of the staff level, the deductions with respect to taxes, medicals, and pension, and every other deduction as the case may be or as applicable to the school. The next is the allowance. We define the kind of allowances that are applicable to the school too in this section. So the payroll really talks about the payroll, and the accounting section takes care of the general running and the administration of the school as regards the staff and the students' welfare. One of the important features that we also integrated into our system is the CBT portal. The CBT is a computer-based test which has been adopted by the likes of JAMB and other higher institutions for scheduling examinations and entrance examinations into their school. We take particularly JAM, that's the Joint Administration and Matriculation Board, that they give out CBTs, they use CBTs as a means of giving out exams or a means of scheduling exams for students who are willing to write exams and who are willing to apply for a particular university or institution. And we know fully well that not all students who fail JAMB exams actually fail because they don't know what they are doing. Most of them fail because they are not IT savvy, and most of them fail because they are not familiar with the CBT system. That's why we took it up. That's why we decided to take it upon ourselves to bring the CBT system down to the secondary school level and the primary school level so that students can start familiarizing themselves with the CBT systems in a way that the school gets to issue out assignments to students via CBT. Student gets to write their test in the school via CBT in the computer lab. Student writes their mock exams via CBT, and the entrance exams too are also given out to they are also given out to students via CBT. So this helps prepare students for the challenge or some of the challenges of writing JAM and other entrance examinations into higher institutions and other institutions as the case may be. The next is the information section. The information section, or more like the notice board. That's where the admin gets to define the kind of information that he or she sends or will send to the parents or the teachers or the students. The next on the list is the story park. The story park is an important feature that we have also integrated into the system for schools to keep track of activities within the school. It's a function that we have created into it's a function. Sorry for breaking transmission. The story park is another feature that we have created for students, most especially to keep track of activities of students in the nursery and the primary section who we know that are not too familiar or who are not too familiar the with subjects like mathematics and English. But those ones, the kind of assessment that we deem fit for those students are like the likes of recording. Okay, we have students engaging in the likes of phonics, the rhymes, the poems, dramas, and all those things. All these activities are recorded in pictures and videos, voice, and everything is recorded and uploaded into the portal. So the student or the parents get a notification once a video or a content is uploaded into the story pack section. And once this is, or once a particular content gets into the story pack module, the parents get a notification and they in turn log into their portal, they log into their students portal and view the activities of their students or their children in the school. So they don't always have to be there, but they can still be in their office or be in the comfort of their home and still keep track of the activities of the students or their children in the school. The next is the clinic function. The clinic takes care of all health records. Maybe if there's a particular student that has health issues or health records, those records are computed. Those records are taken care of in the clinic. And a particular student who is ill or has been treated of a particular ailment, the records are documented in the clinic. We also get a list of all drugs or available drugs in the clinic. So parents can also source for information on the kind of prescriptions, the kind of drugs or the kind of tablets or drugs that has been administered to their children to in order to cure a particular ailment. When we have the parent comment sheets, we have the messages. The messaging platform is another important function that we have built into the system to facilitate easy communication between the parents and the school, to facilitate easy communication between the parent and the school, the parent and the teacher, the student and the teacher, the student and the school administration. So this message, once the admin sends out a message, it automatically gets to the parent's portal immediately, and the parent is notified by email that he or she has an unread message in the portal. And the same thing applies to the teachers, the students, and every other user in the portal. And like the parent, the messaging portal is not just limited to admins sending out messages to the parents. The parents can also send messages to the admin, to the school admin, or to the teachers. And the beautiful part of it is that The admin can also keep track of the communication between or the communication or the conversation between any of the parents and the teachers. Finally, we have the settings. That's where we get to define some of the schools functions. Like, okay, let me take you through the general settings. Minutes. This will come up in it's come up in a second. Okay. This is where we define the information about the school, the name of the school, the address, the school's logo, the school's color, and other information, the exam settings. We have the exam settings, we have the grade settings. The grade settings is where we define the school's grading system. If the school runs on an A1, B2, B3, C4, C5, C6, D7, E8, and F9 grading system, the colors and everything as it will appear on the student's report card. All these are defined here, the rating keys, the pending task, the SMS settings, the access management, and the admin. Now, in addition to that, okay, let's just take a look at some of the features that we explained earlier. Okay, this is the master list. This is where we get all the information already. This is where we get a brief information, or we get the list of all the students in the school, irrespective of their classes. So we get it once we click on the school's master list. Now, if there's any other information you'd like to get from us, you can refer to the product profile attached to this video, or get in touch with us by sending us a mail at info@omnibus.com.ng or info@omnibusng.com. I will be happy to reply you. You can also reach us by sending us a mail. You can reach some of our staffs, some of our personnel here by sending mails to Shola SOLA at omnibus.com.ng, John JOHN at omnibus.com.ng, Ayodele AYODELE at omnibus.com.ng, or info@omnibus.com.ng. Or you can also visit our office at number 41A Shobo Arubiodu Street, GRA Ikeja, Lagos. Thank you very much for watching, and we hope to hear from you soon.